let's talk about Cage of Dreams by Rebecca Schafer. Do keep in mind that this is a sequel to City of Nightmares, so there will be spoilers for the first book. I cannot talk about this book without spoiling a little bit, but I will do my best to keep the spoilers to a minimum. So this is by far one of the most interesting worlds that I've ever had the pleasure of diving into. So we have the city of Newham, which is kind of like a New York City-esque society. Nobody has cell phones, so that kind of gives you an idea of where we're at technology-wise. Everyone owns guns, though. So when people fall asleep in Newham, they dream, and when they dream, they have a nightmare, and then they wake up as their worst possible nightmare. T-Rexes, pterodactyls, various dinosaur creatures, many, many strains of vampires, man-eating cockroaches, spiders, etc. You get the idea. We discover in the first book the reason this happens is because there's a nightmare phantom just kind of like chilling in the dream world and turning people into the most random shit. Our main character, Vanessa, who is a major coward, by the way, manages to free him from the dream world. So we start this book off in this weird middle ground where there aren't as many nightmares coming forth, so the nightmare defense is pretty much irrelevant at this point, but still functioning, as well as so many other supervillains, and of course the nightmares that have been changed into their various nightmare creatures still exist and are not able to be changed back into humans. Vanessa is trying to find a new job. She settles on like a bartending job at this super swanky hotel restaurant thing, right? The nightmare phantom that she had released comes forth and is like, hey, I want you to drop a napkin on the mayor, but do not touch the napkin. We're off to a very weird start. But before she can even do so, she is stopped by the Friends of the Restful Souls, which is the cult she used to be a part of in the first novel. Now that cult is trying to kidnap her. The mayor is after her as well, and the Nightmare Phantom is just wreaking havoc. We still see a lot more of our two side characters, Priya, Vanessa's best friend, who honestly would be a main character in any other story, and Sai, her vampire bestie, aka roommate as well. I had a great time with this book. I had a wonderful time in this duology. I still think it's by far the most interesting concept that I've ever seen. However, I'm only going to give this one a 4-star review. And the reason why is because this main character, Vanessa, is very much a coward and an overthinker. She's constantly questioning herself. So her inner dialogue becomes so repetitive that it was getting to the point where I was rolling my eyes every time a new inner monologue started. I think she did a good job describing and explaining how she is an overthinker by doing these inner monologues. However, when they become so repetitive, you're just kind of like, can we go back to the fact that she's surrounded with guns pointing at her instead of having a 5-paragraph internal monologue? But other than that, that is quite literally the only complaint that I can even come up with this series. I had a great time. I loved it. And of course, I did manage to snag a Fairy Loot edition. So it is absolutely stunning. We actually have a picture of our Nightmare Phantom as well as our main character, Vanessa. And in the back, we do also have Sai, our vampire boy, with Vanessa as well. I absolutely love this book. I don't know if I'll personally read the second one again. However, the first one definitely got a 5-star review from me for a good reason. Because it was amazing, and I think it was really great by itself. However, I do think that everything was tied with a nice little bow at the end for this one. There was also kind of a hint of possibility of a spin-off series of this one, which if there is, whether or not I want to, I'm probably going to read it just because the world that she built in this series is so cool. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. If the idea of a nightmare society interests you, I highly recommend giving this a read.